Okay, everyone. This is 41Solstice 25. Welcome back for some more building. So, all off camera, just earlier today before I started recording, I added this stuff in. I was thinking, I've been looking at this stuff for a good while, and I'm not sure if anyone else has thought this, but it's flat. The world is flat. The world is too flat. So I decided I wanted to shape it up a little more. So from over here, I have tried to add a little more roundness, a little more natural roundness to some of this islandy bits of like the edges and such. It's definitely gonna need a little more work. What I might do is, I'm actually not quite sure. I kind of want something wrapping about it or something, but I'm not entirely sure how I want to go about that. One idea I did have, as I might have spoken to someone about in DeviantArt, is that I might try to wrap around a serpent, just like around some of these bits or something. Most mainly more along the sides and such. Like I figure it'll probably be more along like say this pillar and like that other pillar. And I'll maybe like go around here also, and it'll also like shape up a few things around the front and make it a little less flat feeling. And it'll go like a little bit in front of this. I think that'd be pretty cool, but I'm not really sure if that's what I'm going to go with. But I know I definitely need something less flat around and about. This much flat is driving me nuts. It is just an eyesore to me, really. Like, it's one thing if it's a pixel art, but I don't think you should necessarily just leave it as simply pixel arts in the middle of a build. Like, you need to plan something a little different out of it before you can just say, let's try to get away with this. Because otherwise, I'm gonna think, no, you were not getting away with this. It's gonna need a little something extra. What I am kind of tempted to do is kind of adding more bridge to this and like maybe like making it a little more changed in elevation terms. I figured that might add a little something else to the mix and make it a little more acceptable by my standards. I was also concerned maybe having things here and there on the other side. I haven't fully decided on that yet. But yeah, if you don't remember where we left off last time, we have gotten some start of a roof going, as well as more of an inside. Which reminds me to show this part now. I have done a bit of changes down here since then. Like I've added some more to this. I added this here. I think it looks pretty cool. I feel like there was something else, but I don't see anything that I'm pretty sure was already in the previous video. Yeah. So yeah, that was a slight change in design, but it's all good. It's all cool. It's looking cool. Some stuff here is probably going to have to get a little bit sort of more detailed or something. I'm gonna need like some kind of use of something here something about this being this kind of plain bothers me, and I feel like it might even be too dim. Hmm. Maybe a light of sorts. Hmm. Wait. What am I thinking? We have a yellower light. Is that helping? I can't tell. A little bit. Hmm. Maybe. Why does this look like Mr. Potato Head to me? Anyway, or at the very least, it feels like I'm making Mr. Potato Head. Like eyes and a nose or something. But if you look back from a further distance, it doesn't have quite as much of that feeling, and if you go over some more of this stuff, you can easily forget about it. That's just like my own personal criticizing of my own work. So it's no biggie. Hmm. I want to say something should fill in some of these smaller bits, but what? What's a color I haven't used in a while? Hmm. Is that too much? Hmm. I want to say it's too flat, is what it is. That would mean I would also have to do some a little more. Wait a minute. This might be something. This might very be something, actually. That actually feels more appropriate. I actually kind of like that. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Let's bring that over to this side. Let me think. Was it this one? Yes. Down here. Then there was a gap of 2. Oh, get you out of there. I'll save you. I didn't know you can live, but I will save you. And any further is a no-no. Yeah, that actually does a little something for us. After that, I want to say something needs to go here. Perhaps. It's just starting to look plain after I did that. Huh. But I don't want to make things too dull. What I probably could. As I was saying before, my recording just suddenly stopped. because it's kind of on a timer. What I could probably do is something like this. Does that look alright, or should I go back down one? Let's go back down one. Actually, yeah, like that. It's from this one. Wait, yeah. That adds a little something there. A little more flavor. Just like a little more something for the taste buds to just sort of gather up and just play around within the mouth. Yeah, good stuff. Uh, hmm. Feel like we need another color. Preferably something less gray. And now that I think about it, oh, wait, no, not. Do I use? Okay, I do use standard blocks here. Okay, that's what I didn't recall. Okay, so while off camera, I did some touch-ups of sorts. Not only did I mess around with some more of this, like I tried to, like when I was here, I was trying to tone down the prismarine. So I like thickened the kinds of purples and bright colors in it. I tried to decrease certain other tones in it, like mellow it out a little more with some grays. Yeah, I think it looks alright. Also had a little something here and there. Not sure how I came up with it, but yeah, it's there. I have absolutely no problems with it whatsoever. Then I also did some stuff here. I didn't really touch the underside of this much, but as you can see here, I've kind of tried a few things. Make it a little less simplistic, and then right here I decided to toss a little fountain. I engineered it with delicacy, so it would specifically all run in a controlled manner, and yet not look too ridiculous. Something I've kind of debated is if I wanted to, like, do something like that or something, but no, it's fine as is. Like, I don't need it to hog too much attention, because what I want is for, like, not just people higher up to read the Ianite sign, I want people down here to also be able to read it. If I toss too much around here, then not as many people are going to be able to read it. So, yeah. But to also add a little more three-dimensional depth values in this region, I decided to take some of this down a level in like a specific zone, sort of. Set by hand, removed by hand also, but still, set by hand, and then I kinda made this go up one layer, or half a layer, with the slabs for whatever will become the entrance pathway. Ooh, that thought. Like, that thought is quite a thought, isn't it? The entrance pathway. The way you take just to get to the entrance. It's not quite something most people think about until they get to it. Like for some, if it's like a modern build, they'll try to like make it more curved or something. Or if it's an urbanized thing, they'll usually try to make it more square and pure and almost a little too clean for my likings. If it's something more rural, they'll use like dirt and such. Just like maybe a little messier looking path, but in general, a path. So yeah, I do have at least something to that started. And in this scenario, I definitely want it to go up more. Anyway, one thing that has come into mind of when I'm to finish this project, not that I'm actually very close or anything, is that when I am going to finish it, what would I do with this? Would I have to punch around all the stuff individually? At first I was concerned about that thought, but then I realized, wait a second, I have MC edit. What am I thinking about? I can just get rid of straight up black wool. For those who didn't know, this is black wool. Others were probably thinking, what else would it be if it wasn't black wool? Coal blocks, obsidian. More likely coal blocks before obsidian because it's a little more purer looking. Then obsidian would give you certain impressions, often distances, as that I've learned when it comes to its texture. At least I think that still happens with like certain blocks. Like I think obsidian was one of them. Bricks was another. Like standard regular bricks. Like I'm not sure how many people actually tried using bricks in such a manner. Where it's like a huge wall of bricks. Like say at least 20 one way, 20 another. And just like moved around and like did all these took all these different angles and stuff. At least I know in previous versions it would get some really trippy sights and like large amounts. Like I don't hate bricks, but I definitely don't use them much. In fact, I actually feel like I've neglected them. I'm a little disappointed by my lack of usage in bricks. Like, at some point, I would probably like to actually incorporate them a little more into my various like builds. Like, maybe like even more survival, where it's like difficult to actually get the material for brick blocks. You know, just to make a bit of a change. That's just looking too sharp to me. Eases it up slightly, but this is just so dang straight and it's just BAM! You know, that just seems a little too no. So it needs a little touch up of sorts. I'll figure it out eventually. Assuming if I actually have to do anything to it, I could probably come up with something a little different to work with that, but whatever. We'll leave it as is for now, but someday. Anyway. What else did I want to do? Well, besides, of course, a frigging wall.
I suppose one thing I definitely wanted to do was put something behind this. Like something behind both bits. That would make this feel a little more complete. Now, let's see, let's do that to the other side. I keep forgetting I can just like control fly and go like wicked faster. It's a mechanic in the game for 1.8, and I just forget that I can use it. Like, here's me flying like regular, and then it's so much faster. Wow. Anyway, before I start playing around with stuff, let me get a better overall look at this. You. I really should move this owl sometime. Preferably someplace a little less in the way. But where? I'll figure out something eventually. Uh-huh. Yeah, I think we're going to cut here. Okay. So while off camera, I decided to do a bit of experimenting with this. I really want some additions to these pillars. I've had all kinds of ideas, and this was one of them. So as you can see, I kind of put a few strips going through. Sort of like streamers in a way. Only a little different, a little less flowy. I might try to make them have a little more curvature in some way, but I'm not sure how yet. I want to go about that. So that's gotta wait. Otherwise, I might be too soon, and I will probably make it a bit of a train wreck. But for now, this is good. At least I would say this is pretty good. What I might do right now, though, before I decide, like, this is good enough for the rest of the video, is I would like to do at least a strip along the bottom on both sides to see how that looks. Like, I'm sure it's not a bad idea. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I kind of want to add another, like, higher up, but I don't know how to go about that as of yet. Okay, whereabouts did I set that? Like, here. Oh. And that was going along the back, as I recall. Okay. Yeah, that really adds like another sense of something to this, if I do say so myself. Hmm. But it'd be unwise of me to think there couldn't be something else I couldn't add to this to make it a little more engaging. Huh. One thing I definitely should not do is add more of a quartz strips to this along the top. Or at least not. Ah, head ridge is my mess. At least not down here. That would be a bad idea. It would be too soon and too close to these little bits here. If I, or at least for strips, it would be too soon for sure. But what might be alright is if I do something sort of like this, but not necessarily like that exactly. It needs to be handled a little better than that. Hmm. Other than that, something else I kind of wanted to do was add a few lights to this. Okay, so those are that kind of level. So it's like skip a block. Okay. And that will make this part a little more visually engaging. A little more appealing. I kind of want more lighting on this thing. I should not add anything to it yet. Unless if I come up with something good. Something particularly good. Like, it can't just be anything. It has to be something a little better than just, oh, let's replace this with a light block. Otherwise, it'll be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Half-assed? Yeah, I can't just do that. Like, especially with the way I've been building this. It would be mildly inappropriate. So, yeah. I think this is something decent. I'm gonna have to come up with something for each of these, not necessarily that. So that's not gonna go great for every single spec, or at least not in the same manner. Maybe if I like, what was it, like this? Yes. Maybe if I like go just a little off from one another in a certain way, I'll have a bit more of a balance to it. And for this one, we will not put any on the top. It seems a little unnecessary. Unless we like set them in a bit of a different situation, like a different pattern or something, or from a different spot. Like say one ends up in the very middle. That was the other one was actually in the middle versus that one, but whatever. But you see my point, probably. It's too typical if it goes like the same as that one. Actually, in fact, let's actually remove these top ones. And we'll have more of a theme kind of feeling. What can be the main difference is how they're positioned on the bottom, and it'll still look alright. Wait a minute. Okay, I left some over there by chance. Okay. I'll have to resolve that. Fly at the speed of... That's not exactly the speed of light. If it was the speed of light, I would actually probably have passed it 5 times by now, at least. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad so far. Did I copy that on this side? No, I did not. Let's resolve that, shall we? Skip 3. Oh, okay. I'll have to figure out more of what I want to do with that later on. But I think that'll do for the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all maybe learned a few tricks and ideas to try out. I am 41Solstice25 and have a great day. Bye bye.